Welcome everyone to another series of Q&A, Ask Evolution. These questions are great that keep coming through, so please keep sending them through. They're awesome, and I really do appreciate you taking the time to send them through, because I like to answer as best I possibly can a lot of your questions, and hopefully give you some clarity on some of these questions and give you some answers. So basically we're here again in our colour studio, and for anyone who hasn't been in here recently, like if you're not a new client just yet, this is where you will go for your colour selections day. It's a good little spot. The girls will come in here, start going through external colours, internal colours. So it's a little bit of a work in progress. It's not completely finished yet, but very, very close. So keep an eye on that, and yeah, when you do come through, you'll find that this is a great spot for your selections. We'll move into the first question today, which is from Jim at Ferry Meadow. And he said, have you experienced any issues with suppliers that have blown out build times or supplies? Look, in the world we live in at the moment, yes, there has been a lot of this sort of stuff going on, from timber from overseas and all sorts of things that are outside of our control. But for the most part, the relationships that we have with our suppliers and trades is long-standing. We've had it for such a long time. Some guys I've been dealing with for 20 years in the industry. So whilst we can't say no, there won't be any sort of blowouts because there is an unknown. For the most part, everyone's going through the same problems in the building industry at the moment, and it does seem to be getting a little bit better. So to answer your question, for the most part, no, we don't seem to have massive delays. Yes, things move and shift a little bit from time to time, but for the most part, with our suppliers and the way that we sort of seamlessly try and book things in advance to try and hit those dates, which is what we have to do, then we don't have too many issues with that, Jim. So the next one is from Vicky at Kiama. Vicky's asking about the 20K knockdown promotion. She wants to know, is the 20K with inside that promotion, does it cover all of the demolition? Well, to answer that question, depends on a lot of variables. What size is your house? Is it a double brick house? Does it have a suspended concrete slab with the inside of it? Is there other structures that need to be demolished? So there's a lot in that. 20K will get you a lot of the way there. Like I said, there's some variables to it. So the 20K we find is a really, really good amount that we can put towards that cost. But we don't really know, and in your instance, Vicky, I don't know what you're looking to knock down there, but please reach out to us and let us know. We can do an assessment, but our promo is just for 20,000. So thanks for that question, Vicky. Claire, who hasn't got where she's from, but she's recently noticed on our website the 25K Spend Your Way promotion, and she's asked, is the 25,000 that comes, does it come off the house price, or is it for additional value for stuff like upgrades? That's correct at the end there, Claire. It is for any additional upgrades. So when you do come in the colour studio here, if you wanted to spend stuff on your kitchen upgrades or electrical upgrades, that's kind of what it's there for. So you can use it for all those things, tapware, all sorts of things you can use it for, but it's not an amount that comes off the price, but it is for items that you would like to add into the cost and the home that you would want to make it better and better. Use that funds for that. Next question here is from Lee, and with current interest rates, would it be better to build now or hold off? I'm no economist, but with everything that's been going on, it goes around and around and around. I've been in the industry long enough to see the cyclic nature of all of this. Yes, interest rates are going up at the moment from a historic low point. And, where they end, I don't know, but You know, they're talking 6% or 7% or something like that, which is kind of like a normal sort of thing. But like I said, I'm not an economist. I don't know where they're going to end. But I think if you took all of that out of there and you really looked at where your financial position is, what you can afford, and you obviously talk to your financial person or your broker about what you want to do in regards to buying a home, those things would give you the key items that you need to think about in this situation. So maybe the interest rates for you aren't that big of a deal, but it's important to know about them, and they are going up. But just understand they usually are cyclic. How long they stay at that level, we don't know. They still are quite low, but it is important that you realise what your lending criteria is and what you can get. But if you need information on the home price that you're looking to go ahead with, that's part thereof. Part of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Part of the items that you need to get together so you can understand, well, what is the total price? So if the house is worth 350 or 450 or 550 and the land is this, well, they're the key elements that you need when you're speaking to your broker. And then the interest rate question is going to come into it, because you're going to know what's your borrowing capacity. So look, if you are thinking about these particular questions and you don't have the answers for what house you want to build, come down and speak to us. We can start to look at pricing that part of it and giving you that, and then you've got a few pieces that you can start to work with. So hopefully that one answers that question for you, Lee. So the next question, what do your homes include to ensure they are thermally comfortable? This is from Gary at Tullambar. There's set parameters that we have to follow, and they're called the basics assessment that needs to happen on any home. And inside of that, they're looking at all of this calculation based on the orientation of the home, what it's built out of, its concrete, the thermal mass of those items, how it sort of holds the heat in, how it lets the heat out of the building. So there's a lot to it, but for the most part, currently, we go above and beyond with the basics requirements. That's how we do our structuring. And so the homes can be quite thermally comfortable. Now, there's another element to that as well. So if you're a home buyer who's very much interested in making sure your home is thermally comfortable, also it's energy efficient and all these other things that you can continue to go on and on and on with, then come and speak to us, because depending where your block is and the orientation of it, we can start to design the home that way. So if it's facing a certain direction and you need to have the living areas on one side for it to be really, really thermally comfortable, then we can start to move the pieces around and work with you to get it to that point. But it's a basic part of it there, Gary, but there's a lot more that you can do. There's solar and all sorts of things. So if you want to reach out to us, I'm more than happy to go through that a little bit more in depth. But for the most part, all homes have to comply with a thermally comfortable Australian standard or basics requirement. And yeah, we tick all those boxes currently. A note for that as well is the NCC 2022, which has recently been released, does have a new component within inside of it, which is for energy efficiency and condensation requirements. At this stage, they are in a transitional arrangement, so you don't have to do those at the moment. I think the date off the top of my head is October 2023, where they become mandatory. And that's where they're changing the houses from a 5-star rating in the basics requirements to a 7-star rating. So again, they're trying to make the homes more and more energy efficient, and not put such a strain on the government, I guess. And all the houses need to be energy efficient, thermally comfortable. So we're not using aircon and all this sort of stuff all the time. So hopefully that gives you some clarity there, Gary. So look, that's it for this for this time around. And so please keep the questions coming. I really love the questions coming in. I love sitting down and spending a little bit of time with you guys and answering some of these. So reach out to us via phone. You can submit a question online. You can come and speak to Jason at the display home. There's forms on the website. There's numerous ways that you can come. You can even come into our head office and ask a question if you want. So please do some of those things, and yeah, look forward to speaking to you on the next video. Thank you.